Hello everybody, this is emmavoid, back again with another episode of my Tangle Tower Let's Play. Last we left off, we had met some more folks, and the most wonderful character so far, Fifi, gave us so much good information. Like, look at her. Look at this adorable friend. And thanks to her, we've got more info to poke Flora about, to poke Felix about, and I think also to poke Hawkshaw? Yeah, Hawkshaw about. But before we get to that, we've also got access to her room now. So let's do some exploring in here real quick.
It's a magnifying glass. A big one.
How come you don't have one of those?
Why? Because I'm a detective?
Yeah.
Should I start smoking a pipe too?
It wouldn't hurt.
You couldn't pull off a pipe.
No, she's right.
What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like something Fifi's been writing.
Is it a clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology experiments.
Makes sense.
I don't know what that drink is, but I bet it's 99% sugar.
I'd read you the ingredients, but there's nothing written on the can.
Huh.
That's even worse.
Yeah, that's a little concerning, honestly.
Boxes of stuff.
Yeah, makes sense. What's this?
Boxes
Oh.
of stuff.
More of the same. So what's the chandeliers?
Crystal chandeliers. Extra fancy.
I don't know. They just seem old-fashioned to me.
Yeah.
Plus, they're kind of dusty.
Also, I love that her bed is just a mattress on the floor.
A new suspect! Don't think you can get out being questioned just because you're a bear.
I'm innocent, I promise!
Oh no! They're adorable.
Save it for the judge.
Dorks.
It's a bed.
Barely.
I appreciate the aesthetic.
That's a whole lot of books.
What about these back here?
That's a whole
Yes.
lot of books.
Same thing. Okay.
Homemade posters. This one's about the Pythagoras theorem.
I've not heard of that band. Are they any good?
Oh, he's such a doofus.
Fifi's got something pinned up here.
What is all this?
It's her notes on figuring out who the murderer is. At least, that's my guess.
Is Fifi trying to solve the mystery with math equations?
Yep.
Maybe. Did you ever try that? Maybe it works.
Never know. Don't know that there's anything here that'll be helpful for us. Hey, wait a second.
Is that supposed to be me? Why do I look so angry?
That's just the face you make when you're thinking. It does make you wonder, though. When did Fifi draw all this?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Who's that?
Not sure.
We haven't met her yet, I think.
That's gotta be Flora.
It's a drawing of Penny.
Looks like Professor Pointer.
So she's recognized the connection between Pointer and Hawkeye already.
It's Detective Hawkshaw.
Or Hawkshaw. I keep saying Hawkeye. Wait a second. I don't know. For a moment I was almost like, hey, wait a second. Is this a shipping poster?
And that's you, Sally.
What? I do not look like that, do I?
Kinda sorta.
Looks like Fitz.
Alright.
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
Well, I'm guessing Fifi's pretty certain that she isn't the culprit. And since Freya's the victim... Hey, is that a bag of chips?
What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like it's just a bunch of notes about.
What about this one?
What's that big book?
Looks
No,
like it's
fine.
just a bunch of notes about her micro.
Okay. About this.
A pretty ornate window with a great view of the lake.
We're supposed to be looking for clues, not assessing the real estate value.
And over here, you'll see the owners use sheets of paper to block out all that unnecessary natural light. A simple trick, but it really transforms the space. It looks like a microscope, a big one.
Can I touch it?
Yes. Ooh,
I'm not sure this is a microscope.
interesting. Side floor, magnifying glass and lenses in correct positions. Okay, so clearly we're trying to make a make that key. Oh, and it's got the size adjustments on them. Nice. So this is gonna need to be bigger. This is gonna need to be smaller. This disconnection here, though. Does that maybe work? That maybe works.
I got it.
Yes!
I'm impressed.
Awesome.
Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box. There's a book in here.
Ooh. Ooh! Aw, it's your diary. Well-used book resembling a diary, locked with strange metal device. Alright, well, I think that might be all of interest in here. Maybe. Oh, except...
Stuff Fifi's thrown away.
You gonna rummage through the trash can?
No, it's quite beneath me, thank you.
It's an important investigative technique, excuse you.
I give it 5 minutes before you're in there.
Scientific formulas, probably. I'll openly admit I have no idea what any of it means.
At least he's honest. Alright, I think that's everything of interest now. Oh,
That's a whole
Okay.
lot of books.
that is everything. Now let's go talk to Fifi again. I want to be like, hey, I found your diary.
A
Diary.
book. My book.
What's in it?
Pages.
I mean, technically she doesn't have to tell us anything more than that, so yeah, valid. Worth a shot. Alright, so... Let's talk to you first. Hey, Flora.
So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
I really do love that. So my theory is that the knife was taken by the
The
murderer.
knife was taken by the murderer.
Wait, I'm confused.
Me too.
So what's going on?
Oh. Okay. It's not a knife.
It's not a knife.
It was one of those two.
We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
Okay. Yeah. It's the trowel. I don't know why she has the trowel.
That
But it's the trowel.
kinda makes sense. But no.
Wait, what? It's not the trowel? Okay, now I have no idea. I think maybe we don't have what we need then. Can we go back? Now I'm very confused. Is it this?
We'll get to that in a minute.
No. Okay, no. Clearly I must have whatever it is. I hate that I'm gonna have to just click through literally everything, though. Ugh. Beetle?
That's not it.
Is the tower?
That's not it.
No. My
That's
case
not
file. This might take a while.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
It's the painting itself.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. We'll get to that in a minute. That's not it. 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 That kinda makes sense.
Oh.
That's not it. That's not it.
Oh, it's the bird. It's... Duh. I feel really dumb now.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Alright. Oh, I see. So, the painted knife was actually a feather. Feather from the ink dip bird.
The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink dip bird is red and white too?
Yes! We do have that.
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
Alright. Someone betrayed her. No, let's see. Yeah, the bird was Penny's pet? No, Flora's pet. So she kept a single feather to remember it by.
The ink dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet, and it died?
Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
So where'd it go?
Alright, so she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally.
Oh.
This is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
Right, in the ink.
That we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty.
Which means someone took it. She's gonna talk to us?
Flora? She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
Oh.
It's just a pile of books. They're not... Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
The feather! Oh. Aww. Flora's drawings. Oh, that's cute. And handwritten message. These are for you. Love, Freya. Aww. Oh no, it's too cute. Small baby. So, well, before we get to the small baby,
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any hobbies?
yeah, I doubt she's actually going to say anything.
You haven't
but
seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who were the other people next to you?
Do you know anything about this beetle?
aha. Shrug.
Do you know what this is?
Guess not. Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general? Have you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
I really thought she was gonna say something there.
I'm wondering if she's not just like entirely nonverbal by this point.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
Yes. Yes, there is. So I think we might need to take those to, what's her face? Penny. To ask about the bird. Maybe. Or Fifi. Or Felix. I don't know. Anywho.
We met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
You really want to get her to talk,
Nice
don't
try. We spoke to Hawkshaw. I assume she didn't get anything out of you either. I bet that really ticked her off.
You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
I mean, we already know that.
What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You
Never
know.
know. Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials?
We spoke to your daughter, Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist. You must be proud of her.
Alright. We're done talking to her for now. So. Hey guy. So first off, let's talk to you about the people we didn't talk to you about before. Like Hawkshaw.
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant because we both wear, you know, red capes of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard in the grapevine. Supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it.
Oh, it'll be fun pointing that out to him.
Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
Alright. Penny.
Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger. Always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle. And he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture. Heartfelt. But futile. Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an
With
argument?
layers?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman. My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables.
Makes sense.
She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
I mean, that's a good enough reason, I would think. I mean, she doesn't even really need to give you a reason, but whatever.
That looks like it might belong to Fitz.
Yeah, that it
Why
does.
don't you ask Fiona about that one? Looks
Already
like her
did.
area of expertise.
Yes, yes.
I've never seen that before. Looks valuable. What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
That
I'm
beetle.
pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold.
Ugh.
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
That really is.
Bizarre things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
Come now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to. That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Goodness me! Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd. Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they? These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I get the feeling that Penny probably stole the bird. Since she did already admit to feeding 4 birds in particular. Alright, Hawkshaw. I've got words for you. Oh wait, did I? Sorry, excuse me. I forgot to do a thing.
So,
Suspicious.
about this paint we found in your room.
Nothing suspicious about it. I used it to paint, obviously. Totally normal thing to do.
Is it?
You never said it was suspicious.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
Yeah, that's not your paint.
It's not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine.
No,
I
it's
even
not.
have proof. Look, The lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots.
Yeah, but
End of discussion.
the label doesn't.
That's not the end of the discussion.
We need a clue to compare with Felix's red paint. Something to prove who it actually belongs to.
Yeah, I've got that.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Alright. Oh wait, no. The lids were swapped. Yeah.
Freya's red paint pot is exactly the same as Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it. Almost.
Oh.
Maybe just...
There we go.
Freya's red paint pot was
Gotcha.
stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint is from Freya Supplies, not yours. Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are you bothering me about paint anyway? And none of this is connected to your murder.
See. Was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
Oh, that's definitely something.
Yeah.
Right. Fine. Here's the story.
Alright.
I was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint. There was a certain amount of time pressure, so I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know. Perfectly reasonable request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So, well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday. I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used a different color?
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit insensitive.
Yeah, alright. Okay, now let's go bug Hawkshaw. Hey, Hawkshaw. So let's see, people we haven't talked to you about yet.
Professor Pointer's a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself.
We know he hired you.
What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
She's not very good at hiding it.
I find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoiled child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse. Considerably intelligent. and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition. No focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely.
Alright. What else we got? Trow.
This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around.
True. We'll come back to that.
What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double-check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, it definitely didn't belong in there.
3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would. Didn't you consider that important evidence, do you?
Yeah. I just want to share everything with you.
These people really are ridiculous, aren't they?
Oh, yes. Yes, they are.
A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that. A diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And you haven't attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating.
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
Hmm.
Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
Rude. Except, kind of expected. Alright.
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
Oh, we already know.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
You're looking for the bug.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
Oh. Alright, because it's not a microscope.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
Yeah. It's handheld microscope. Alright, Fifi mentioned it. Telescopic lens. Or microscopic lens. Or, wait. Fake glass lens? Shoot, I don't remember.
The handheld microscope,
No.
according to Fifi, uses a fake glass lens. Almost. Maybe just...
Uh,
The handheld microscope, almost. The handheld microscope,
Okay.
according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens. So Hawkshaw lied about it.
right, because
I'm
Fifi thought
inclined
it
to
might have been
believe
pointers.
Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Aw.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective.
Aww.
But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
Ah. Right. Well then. We don't have anything extra to ask you about for now. So. Who do we want to talk to next? Let's say this one. Aha!
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them.
Yeah,
It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
it's cool stuff.
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
While it is the music room, he's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
A shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn with a noticeable crack running along the length of the horn. Cracked glass. Interesting. Oh, and you know, that's the same sort of creature as on the harp statue, I think. At least fairly similar. Yeah, almost identical, really.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
Makes sense.
Who plays the violin?
So I'm guessing nobody.
1 old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
Yeah, that does seem a little dangerous.
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor.
It's a globe.
For globing.
Freaking dork. Oh my god.
Smells like a forest in here.
All
Fancy.
right, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion.
Dorks.
It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
Hi.
Are you a ghost?
Sally, that's rude.
You can't just ask people if they're a ghost.
It may
Oh,
come as
jeez.
a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
Aw.
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your
Aw.
name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer.
I trust
A
Poppy.
pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Aw.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So, tell us about yourself.
I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How
Aw.
are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor
I'm so sorry.
spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends.
So we've
We
heard.
all turned 19 last year.
do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away, definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
Makes sense.
3.5 hours of piano practice, soon as I wake up. Same as
Wow.
always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her
Aw.
bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
Interesting. Alright, statement
Fitz and
time.
I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Alright.
That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that would be kind of cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
I'd imagine.
Hard of head, but free of mind. Unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond. Behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied. It's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be.
A poet? I like it. It's a good poem. Alright, so what do you think of Fitz?
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way. Feathers flashing in the light, from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage.
Oh yeah, she definitely does not like Penny, and I still kind of get the feeling, like I know Fitz is older than Poppy, but I kind of get the feeling that the trowel might have been given to Fitz by Poppy and not Penny? I don't know.
Eavesdrop what the stars are saying. Earthly tether, slowly fraying. Floating, helpless from the worst of jealous hunger, selfish thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet the flowers growing at your feet. Foregone drifter, holding fast. Days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender? Accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom. Some four walls make round a room.
Okay, I have to say, I love her poetry. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay,
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling. Stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space. With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
orchestrator? Hawkshaw? You really think so? Huh.
Between the lips a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
This poetry is so good, but it's also sort of really difficult to, like, to place it to what she means by it. Dang. Alright.
So there are two families living in Tangle Tower?
3 pointers and 5 fellows. 4 fellows.
What's the connection between them?
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora's a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the Fellows and the Pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask. That means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea.
Oof. That's rough.
There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
Yeah?
This is mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
What do you make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone? Or signed by anyone?
Well, yeah.
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you?
Also a possibility.
When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife, with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell
Yeah.
me how it's a clue. Tell
I
me how
mean-
it helps.
Well-
Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything.
Aw.
Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do.
She really does.
It was my mother's originally.
So why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody?
Interesting.
What was inside?
Nothing.
Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff.
Has something to do with that sound you heard, I'm pretty sure.
Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly.
Oh. How nice. Oh, you've been to the greenhouse? What did you think?
Impressive, I guess. But kind of unsettling, with Fitz lurking in the shadows the whole time.
A little bit.
Yeah. He does that.
He does that.
Did you find that in Fifi's room?
No? Should we have?
No, it's just... It looks like something she'd use, don't you think?
You'd think, yeah.
Is that a gardening trowel?
Yeah. I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh. Never seen him use it. You get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously.
At some point, we really need to get into her room.
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic. I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
Yeah,
Does
just a bit.
Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny
Yeah.
can be a little protective. Never seen that one before. Was it in the greenhouse?
No. We found it in Penny's room.
Right.
Aww. Let's maybe hold on to that for a moment.
That belongs to Flora, I think. Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
Aww.
How sweet. Those petals.
What about them?
It's nothing.
Oh, come
They're just
on.
unusual.
Tell us. Ugh.
Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
That's kind of interesting. Oh.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
We'll go in a moment.
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
Later.
let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
Later. Alright. So. What did I want to do? Oh, we're gonna be going back there for those things. I gotcha. Actually, I know what I want to do. So I was just thinking... This harp statue. A bell? Lips? A mouth? A piano? And a bird. I know we've seen the bell out front. And I know there's the piano's in here. Alright, well then. Suspect statements.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon. Then I heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs. Just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized the
Forgot
yelling
that
voice
part.
as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
Interesting. Okay, real quick, I have to point out. Why do you have in your notes a line between the two of you with a question mark? Such a dork.
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
No. Alright, so. Painted ink dip feather. Oh wait, no. Okay, no, so blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of painted inkjet feather. Why? To resemble, no? Maybe? Maybe.
Blood from the paint pot
Yeah.
was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Hmm.
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Oh.
If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle.
Yep.
That is, from directly in front of her.
I think I got
But
it.
she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
No.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe
We
her
don't.
being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
The sounds knocked her out. That's why it was so peaceful. Alright. So I've got some, yeah. The sound knocked her out. The only thing I can think of that made the sounds would have been the tape and the gramophone. But obviously it wasn't that. Or it wasn't tape, that tape in particular. I think likely the feather just blew out the window. And obviously, whoever stabbed Freya did it from the attic and used the real thingy to pull the knife back up. Interesting. Alright, real quick. Poppy's room. Let's take a look around.
Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor.
Nice.
Always a good omen.
It's an eye. It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8. Don't say it.
Sextopus.
Dorks.
Just a bunch of clothes on the floor. Nothing weird about that.
To you.
A lamp. It is most definitely turned off.
What's in here?
Anything in the wardrobe?
Dresses mostly. I never realized there were so many shades of black.
There's a name for this kind of piano. You know, these ones that stand upright?
Is it an upright piano?
Sheet music.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed, though. Must be important for some reason.
Framed, decorated with delicate, old-fashioned illustrations. Interesting.
Sheet music, presumably for piano.
Huh. That's weird. That part didn't get included in the,
It's only a few
written...
notes.
It's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
Huh. Alright. Well, anywho.
Gloomy.
But roomy.
Dork.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
Makes sense.
That...
I thought
This is a vampire who needs firm support. Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles. Wouldn't want it to be dark in here.
His complaints about the lighting are hilarious.
Empty. Anything in the drawers?
Nothing you need to know about.
A single red rose.
Hmm.
How very traditional.
Yeah, weird. It's a metronome for keeping time.
Fancy metronome.
It's ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking.
It's a
Not sure
bomb.
what those symbols are, though.
Huh. Use the buttons to rotate all 4 metronome dials up to the at top.
There we go.
Perfect. What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph. Part
Ah.
of a photograph.
Ooh. What we got? What we got? Huh. The ripped photo shows a young girl with blonde hair and pink clothes. The girl in the photo is using a bright pink cassette player with matching headphones. She didn't used to be goth. Poppy didn't used to be... That's totally Poppy, isn't it? Maybe? It's hard to tell. I don't know who else it could be. I don't know. Interesting.
A big glass door leads out into a garden. Somehow.
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
Oh, right, this thing. Alright, so I think these were here? I mean, we're gonna have to come back later. Go back to the other room later. But it's...
Something happened.
Aha!
That must be it. And the door's still locked.
Gotta unlock both of them.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress.
Yeah.
Didn't we solve this?
We did, but the door's...
Yeah, but I wanted to get a look at it again. So let me make a note of that for later. Alright. Well, I think that's enough for today's episode. So, be sure to come back next time when we will open the other door, check out the other areas we haven't been to yet, and hopefully be that much closer to solving this mystery. I mean, I already know how it was done, basically, I'm pretty sure. Well, vaguely how. I don't know who did it. Or what they used to knock everyone out and break everything. But we'll figure that out. So, like, subscribe, all that jazz, leave comments, because it helps with the algorithm. And check out the links in the doobly-doo for places to throw money my way, or hang out with me on Twitter or Discord, etc., blah blah. And I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody!